What?
No, never mind.
You said it right after I hit it. Anyway, welcome back to Worldhoppers, the collaborative YouTube channel where we are ready to go, except anyone named Alan. What is the speech? Jesse, you just did it. What's the speech?
Oh, welcome back to Worldhoppers, the collaborative booktube channel where we bring along a whole bunch of booktubers to talk about books. And today we're doing the mid-year book freakout tag, and we're talking specifically about fantasy books today, which is very exciting. I've read so many good fantasy books this year so far. And all of the AdSense revenue and merchandise profits go to charity. So watch those ads.
Watch the ads, buy the stuff, do the thing.
What if I talk about science fiction?
You're gonna get kicked out.
Does the ad revenue not
You're allowed
count?
to talk about science fiction.
Should have been on the tag video yesterday with us, Alex.
I'm making a judgment call making a battlefield call. You can talk about science fiction, Alex.
No, you're not in charge, Alan. This is my classroom.
I literally just pulled a coup, so.
You did not.
I did too.
I have the power to kick you out.
Okay. He can still talk about science fiction. Don't let her silence you.
Help, I'm being oppressed.
That's right.
So the tag questions, I have them all in lovely banners that Elle created for me so I wouldn't have to, because I also didn't know how. There's a lot of questions. I don't remember these questions and I don't have any answers prepared. So I will definitely go last on everything. If that's okay with everybody. But the first question is, the best book you've read this year has to be fantasy. If you say sci-fi, you're getting kicked out.
You're out. Oh man. Am I starting?
You're starting.
Oh, I go first. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna try not to repeat the same.
Wait, we can make Alan start.
When is this going? When is this going up? Next week?
I don't know.
It's going up right now. Whoever's watching this is seeing this right now.
Probably in about a week.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a week.
Oh, then cool. Are you trying not to give the same answers as you gave on the one tag you filmed, Jesse?
No, I filmed another tag for Worldhoppers last night doing only sci-fi thriller horror books. So now I get to.
That's why you can't say sci-fi, Alex, because you were excluded.
Yes. We purposely.
You are both excluded and silenced.
So then I will just have to lie about the best book that I've read.
No, this is best fantasy book you've read.
Fine.
That's not a lie.
It's fine. Just close the gates and make sure you don't give us the code and get into your fancy neighborhood. Well, we'll go back to our Sabura.
That's okay. I actually have an answer.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I love how we're like.
Okay, whatever.
Alex likes to go first.
No, What? Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky via Michael Scott. Anyway, so the two best books I've read this year. So I have had a bad reading year so far, just because I got really busy in school, so I didn't read anything in April. Or I'm just repeating my own freaking video. Anyway, so it was hard to pick. The 5-star Strumpets died this year. It's been a lot of 4.5s. I haven't had a ton of 5 stars.
Yes,
bad.
4.5.
Indeed. But The Company by KJ Parker, which is one of the bleakest books that I've read. Zara, who's a huge Abercrombie fan, says that the characters are bleaker than Abercrombie. From what I understand about Abercrombie,
I read Abercrombie to cheer up. So
you should read Abercrombie because you're addicted.
You should read The Company. It's like a cross between Pratchett and First Law.
How about this, Alan? I'll
awesome.
read that when you read The Blade itself.
Okay, well, I'm going to get to it, but it's going to be okay. Cool, deal. So it was really good. It was a standalone by KJ Parker, and it's just Parker is so good at writing really compelling characters in stories where nothing happens, and yet the stakes are so high. And I'm just like, these are bad people doing bad things. It's called The Company, and it is just bleak. But it doesn't seem bleak. That's the problem. It's it seems upbeat, as most of them do, because Parker's writing style is very oh, pip, pip, good day, sir. And it's just oh, that person just murdered someone. And we're just going to gloss over that? Oh, okay. That's really dark. And it's he writes characters that are just incredibly monstrous, but not in John Wayne Gacy way, but in the absolute worst of every human, not like extreme humans, like serial killers, but just like, I'm like, man, I can see if this was my life doing that, if I was a terrible person like these people, if I had no scruples. So
Are
it's
we
really
sure we're
good.
not talking about First Law?
That's what I'm saying.
I was trying to decide. I was like, is that how I would describe First Law? Because like I don't feel like they're that evil. It's more like you're reading about it. It's all quite casual, and you're like, why am I okay with everything? Why is this all fine?
That's what this is. Because they're not the bad guys. Like, it's the protagonist, and I'm just like, you're not good. You're such a bad person, and yet I root for you.
I think it just
like
speaks
what I
to
said about First Law was like the real grimdark is the truths you learn about yourself along the way.
Oh, I'm okay with this. I'm terrible.
And the other one I just read that I didn't say in my thing is 1,000 Names, which is book 1 of the Shadow Campaigns, which I don't know why it's not being like, I don't know why Powder Mage is more popular. I don't, because the difference between 1,000 Names and Promise of Blood is like, it's night and day. Like 1,000 Names is what a Flintlock fantasy book should be. It's so good. It's so good.
Is it better than Guns of the Dawn?
It is similar in quality, but it is a different kind of Flintlock fantasy. It is more fantasy and is much more. I mean, it does have the we're in a hazardous environment. Are we going to survive? But so Guns of the Dawn is like Sharp meets Downton Abbey.
Don't talk about it. It's my answer.
Oh, sorry. And
to your question, Alan, I'm going to guess that Brian McClellan just has more name recognition, or more people have heard of Promise of Blood, because it has like 3.5 times the amount of ratings.
Django Wexler. I know, Alex, and it's just frustrating because more people have heard of Shadow Campaigns, because when you talk about Flintlock, they talk about Powder Mage and Shadow Campaigns. But Shadow Campaigns is so much better. Now, I don't love everything that happens in the series, but that first book is so good. Like, it is so good. It's like he writes Napoleonic warfare the same way that Bernard Cornwell does. And that is a high praise, because Cornwell is so good at writing battle scenes. It's just, it's intense. Like, I defy anyone who is even remotely interested in that stuff to read the first chapter of part 2 of the book and not be like, holy crap. Anyway, it was so good. We're doing a read along, and I had read it before, like, 7-8 years ago, and I didn't remember liking it this much because I was, really kind of new to fantasy. I hadn't read a ton of fantasy back then. And now I'm just like, man, like, this is Flintlock. This is why I read Flintlock. So those are my 2 answers.
That's good. Yeah. I really want to read the Shadow. The Shadow Campaigns.
I think you would really like.
Sounds awesome.
1,000 Names, Jesse, especially since you like Emily. The main character is another woman in Shadow Campaigns.
Love Emily. Okay, yeah. So I mean, spoiler alert. I also have a similar answer. One that we've already talked about. Sorry, I'm probably not going to make a whole lot of sense because I'm very tired right now, like not running on a whole lot of sleep. So I might just say weird things. My favorite book of the year so far is, my favorite book is, I'm going to save it for the best sequel that
Guns of the Dawn.
The best book is Guns of the Dawn. Because I love Emily, the main character, so much. I love the like Pride and Prejudice-esque little romance in it. And it was like not the focus, it was just kind of on the side. It was there, and it added like this nice little layer. But just the like war boots on the ground, like military scenes, like the action scenes, like there's like these action scenes where they're in this swamp and you're following soldiers with boots on the ground, like moving through this swamp like land, and it is just so good. It's so good. And like the camaraderie between the soldiers and like exploring what it would mean if we had to like draft women into the war, and like it was just fascinating. I loved it so much. So yeah, that's my favorite.
I agree. Very good. I like.
It's the same Tchaikovsky that writes Children of Time, right?
Yeah. So he has his fantasy and his sci-fi, and he writes so much. Like everything's hit or miss. Like Jesse, you tried to read Tiger and the Wolf, and you did not like it.
No, I did not. Yeah. So yeah, I'm still trying to like figure out Tchaikovsky. I want to read his sci-fi next.
But why didn't you like Tiger and the Wolf? I have that, and I've been looking forward to it. But
you might like it. I just didn't like the world building very much. It's like shapeshifters is the magic system, which like already isn't my favorite thing. And so you follow like clans who are different types of shapeshifters, and like already I was like, whatever. But I just really didn't like the characters. I found it extremely dull. So I just was like, I DNF'd it. So you might like it. And I've heard that it gets a little bit better the longer you go. Well, some people have said that. Some people were like, I should have DNF'd it because it did not get any better.
The covers are so pretty.
I know the
Have you read
covers
Empire in Black and Gold? Has
Which
anybody
one?
Read that? Empire in Black and Gold?
Yes.
Is that also good?
Okay, so that starts his 10-book Shadow of the App series.
Yeah.
But I've only read the first 4. I want to finish
only the first 4. A lot of series
I
stop at
finish
3
series this year.
He writes a lot. You're right. He writes a lot.
The first
I'm just looking at his Goodreads. I'm like, holy crap.
Empire is very good. It is very good. I think it's I like the second one the best, but a lot of people like the first one the best. Empire is excellent.
Nice.
Well, Alex, what was the best fantasy book that you read?
Okay. Liza Locke Lamora is my number 1 fantasy book that I wrote this year so far. Because everybody kept telling me forever that it was going to be fantastic and that I would love it. And like 3 sentences in, I was just like, yep, this is my thing. Because the writing's fantastic and witty.
This pleases me greatly.
It's got great humor, great dialogue.
The dialogue is fantastic.
Just
the dialogue gets better, if you can believe it, by the end of like the.
And it's exciting that he's starting to write some novellas. So hopefully he's actually going to continue the series at some point. But I mean, it functions wonderfully as a standalone. I feel like you could just end it there and it would be perfectly fine. The interactions and just like the situations that Locke and John get into are absolutely insane. And it's like a fantastic heist book, as well as just like watch these idiot thieves in a world full of even worse people that are also in a world of even worse people. And again, it's where you're rooting for not great people. They're certainly not good guys, but it's fantastic. I laughed out loud several times reading it. And it was
they only steal from the rich, so it's fine.
It was like, I forget, it was really early on, and I'm probably going to butcher it unless I can find I highlighted it somewhere. I think it's on Goodreads, where he's basically, the book is describing how much Locke steals. And it was basically saying let me find it. Said if he had a bloody gash across his throat and a physiker was trying to sew it up, Lamora would steal the needle and thread and die laughing. He steals too much. Like it was fantastic.
I like that.
Yeah, the dialogue in that book. Every time there was like any character interactions, I was like, oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah. Everyone's super snarky and
I really like
just talking a lot of crap and cussing at each other, and it's great.
It's kind of
and it gets really violent too. Yeah.
It's kind of like Oliver Twist in the the flashback timeline. For
sure. And I actually appreciated how little magic there was. It's very sort of, I mean, I'll say grounded in a way, but like when it does kind of introduce the magical elements into it, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's not just like wizards everywhere. It's kind of like First Law in a way where it's like,
it's more magic than First Law though.
Yeah, it is. But it's like, it's very low magic until you have like a magic user. It's not like everyone's wielding magic. It's not Mistborn. Like there's not a bunch of Alamancers running around. It's very much just like a intimate, like character driven narrative. And then there also happens to be magi, which is pretty cool.
I also thought it was much like at times darker than I was expecting. Because I'd always
it got pretty dark. Yeah.
Yeah, like the heist, the found family, the thieves, the humor. So when you're like, oh, there's some like real consequences in this book, I was like very taken aback by it. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
It's not all fun and games.
Yeah, there's some real consequences.
The thing that none of you have said is how hungry I get reading that book, because all the descriptions of the food that they learn to cook for each other and that they're eating all the time, it always sounds like top tier bougie foodie food. I'm like starving reading it.
That reminds me of the description of the kumquat in 12 Cases.
Okay, but they don't talk about the same food thing over and over in 10 different ways. They just describe this epic meal.
We get it. You're eating a kumquat.
I wish it was like really, really popular and had a show so that, you know how like Game of Thrones had like the whiskeys that were like inspired by the houses.
Yeah.
There's the whole huge plot line about Osterschal and brandy in the whole beginning of The Lives of Locke Lamora, and you know if there was a show that was popular, some distillery would make Osterschal and brandy.
I feel like
100%.
they could work quite well as an adaptation, actually, because of how low magic it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's kind of episodic, you know, where you like
Yeah.
Okay, I think my absolute favorite I can't really say because it's like half fantasy and half sci-fi because it's a collection of short stories and some of them are fantasy and some of them are sci-fi.
It's not allowed to be written by Joe Abercrombie.
It's written by Ken Liu.
Oh, it's a paper menage.
Yeah, but like some of those stories are for sure sci-fi. So then if
And
not
don't
that,
talk about them. Quit breaking the rules.
my favorite book of the year is like 2/3 of Paper Menagerie. But so since I shouldn't say that one, then Jade City by Fonda Lee.
Wow.
You're welcome, Alan, you like it. Get out of here.
Wow. I'm like pleasantly surprised by how much you loved
I
it.
am pleasantly surprised that I don't hate a popular thing. I'm
That's
so
why I was
happy.
Like, oh, this is like overhyped, popular.
I'm just waiting to
You
hear
like
what
popular crap all the time. This hipster vibe that you have is nonsense. Like, you like popular crap. Like, what are you reading right now? Are you reading Dandelion Dynasty? Oh man, way to strike out on your own there.
That's what my patrons picked for us to read along.
Why don't you, no, just go carve a path through the underbrush. Find us a new city. I don't even know who you are anymore.
But Alan, unlike
you've been converted.
It's not my reading choices that make me a hipster. It's my opinions that make me a hipster. So you choose obscure things that no one has ever read. I read popular stuff and I hate it. Those are our vibes.
What popular stuff do you hate besides Brandon Sanderson? And John Gwynn. There you go. What else? What else?
Well, I didn't like the end of Poppy War. I don't like Wheel of Time.
Neither did I.
This is not okay. Well, you're derailing. I'm trying to be positive and talking about a good book that I liked, and you're tricking me into talking about my unpopular opinions. And you had your chance with your Leanna's bad takes. You think I have bad takes? You made a category in Jeopardy for it, Alan.
That was
so. That is what
I
you
left
think.
For a month, and I came back. And I don't even recognize BookTube anymore.
Who are you?
They got to you, Leanna, while I was gone. You didn't hold down the fort.
Oh my god.
So Jade City by Fonda Lee that Alan also likes.
I mean, you're right.
I did really like it, but I think a huge part of why I loved it was that I was so relieved that my expectations were like, oh god, it's gonna be a popular thing. Preparing for like the negative, she didn't like it, surprise review. And then I started reading and I was like, I think I like this. I think I really like this. And then I just like buzzed through it. And then after I finished it, I was like, well, of course I liked it because it's basically Peaky Blinders in like modern-ish Asia.
I was just about to say, do you watch Peaky Blinders or do you watch Succession?
Do I watch Peaky Blinders?
We've had a discussion about Peaky Blinders before.
Just wait until you read Empire of the Vampire. That'll be your new favorite.
Well, Alex, I can't wait because you're making sure that happens.
Mm-hmm. Even if Jimmy bails now.
Even if Jimmy bails, he's done moving. He's got no excuses anymore.
He's told me he's not reading it.
Coward.
He bought it.
Yeah. Jimmy works in tech. He can afford to buy a book he's not going to read.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, best book I read so far this year, other than Paper Menagerie, Jade City.
You read like 20 books a month, meaning you've read 100 plus books this year.
I've read 100 and I can tell you how many books I've read.
Okay. I've read like
that's my indignation. It's not like, well, Alan, you liked it. Yeah, okay. I read 4 books a month if I'm lucky.
I've read 93 books so far this year.
That's a lot.
That's incredible.
That's fewer than I thought. Did the trial get in the way?
Yes. So best sequel that you've read this year, Alan?
I mean, I haven't read a bunch of sequels. It's going to be one of the Dagger and Coin sequels, Daniel Abraham. I just finished that series a couple days ago. But I read books 2 through 5 this year. That's really like the only sequels I've read. I only ever read a sequel to anything else this year? Question mark. Yeah, they were good. I mean, it's Daniel Abraham, which I like, and is good. It's not Long Press Quartet good.
I was just about to say which one do you like more.
Long Press Quartet's way better.
We'll start with Long Price Quartet.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Is it though?
Oh, shut up, Jade. So yeah, the character works really good. Like I like it. I don't really have anything else to say other than, you know.
It has a super unique cover. I've never seen a cover like this before on a fantasy book.
Yeah, the first one, the books 2 and 3 are my favorites.
Most fantasy books don't use swords.
I thought you were serious, Jesse. I really thought you were serious. You
so did I. And then I was just like, okay. Well.
I was like, is there something I'm missing?
Yeah,
I don't want to be like, you're wrong.
The covers tell you nothing about it. It's just you just have to know it's Daniel Abraham.
Is there a dagger and a coin on it?
No.
There's no dagger or coin. There's a sword.
False advertising.
I know.
Anyway, I like it. That's my answer.
Good one. I read the whole Legends of the First Empire series by Michael J. Sullivan, and I'm so obsessed. It's my favorite series of all time now.
Is that the where does that?
That is the prequel series. It's like 3,000 years before Raya Revelation.
So are you actually supposed to read that first now? Or are you still supposed to read
Okay. I've had a lot of people asking me what order, and I'm kind of like TBD because I haven't.
Joshana told me no. Joshana said after she read Chronic or Revelations, Theft of Swords after the one Jesse's talking about, and that it just wasn't the same. Like she's just like, So
she also said that like it's fun to see stuff that like, you know, because you've seen the history from the mega prequel. Like I read the Ryuria Revelations first because I intended to read them in publication order. And I don't really like Ryuria Revelations. So another unpopular opinion, I don't really like Ryuria Revelations.
I went ahead and read Rise of Empire. Sorry, Alan. I know you're supposed to.
Whatever, Jesse. It's fine.
I was just like really excited to get to it.
You're fine.
But I will say that I'm not liking Ryuria Revelations as much as Legends of the First Empire. I'm still enjoying Revelations, but I think Legends is much better. And it's interesting because it depends on you as a reader. I think if you're a very detail-oriented reader that likes really paying attention to like the history stuff in your books when you're reading through stuff, then maybe like reading it in publication order would be best because you'll be like, oh, I remember learning about that through this monologue from this character, and now I'm seeing it play out. And like, this is really interesting. But like, honestly, I read Theft of Swords first and then read the whole Legends book. And I went back and like reread parts of Theft of Swords and was like, I didn't even like realize like what we were saying until I read Legends. And it like made so much more of an impact on me. And I like paid so much more attention to like every time they were referencing the history because they get so many things so wrong. And it's so interesting to like see things get morphed throughout time and just like legends get distorted through time and just like characters getting lost in memory. Oh, you're like, no, this person didn't do that. This person did. And you're like, oh. So it's just really, it's awesome. And it's like the best characters. I love it. I love it so much. So my favorite sequel was the third book, Age of War, but I love all of them so much.
So is the narrative structure the same though? Like, are they just like it's not like Fire and Blood for A Song of Ice and Fire, right? Where it's like a literal history.
Correct.
Book? Okay.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. It's all like 350 to 400 page, like just adorable novels, not a history book.
Yeah. Leanna, would you, if for a first time A Song of Ice and Fire reader, would you tell them to read Fire and Blood first?
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, I wouldn't even tell a lot of A Song of Ice and Fire readers and fans to read it. I'd be like, maybe let me like tell me this. How do you feel about history documentaries and history textbooks? And
yeah.
But Alex, what's the best sequel that you've read this year? The fantasy sequel.
So I, like Alan, have not read many sequels. So technically, it would be A Dance with Dragons, but that is a reread. It's still probably my answer because it's. I mean, I'm looking at the books that I've read. Best Served Cold doesn't really count, even though chronologically in First Law it's next.
Sure,
But,
it counts. I think
it's
that
certainly not a
counts.
sequel. I guess.
Yes, it is.
I guess technically in the timeline it is, but if we're counting Best Served Cold, it's Best Served Cold. If we're counting rereads, then it's Dance with Dragons.
It can't be a
because
reread.
The reread was fantastic. I was hoping to say Hunger of the Gods, but that was a massive letdown for me. So yeah, Best Served Cold, Joe Abercrombie, nice standalone, lots of familiar faces at least being talked about in the book, and it's the continuation of First Law that I was expecting. It's still a lot of fun.
See what you just said? The continuation of First Law.
Well, it comes next in the series, but is it a sequel?
Yes.
Who can say?
I can say.
There's not enough data. But no, I mean, the characters are great. Dialogue's great. The action and violence is fantastic. People getting stabbed over, thinking that dice are rigged is always great. It's just a lot of fun. And what?
It's the dice that were wronged in that situation.
It was a great scene. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know too much to say about it other than it's fantastic because it's First Law. And First Law is fantastic. So there you go.
The best sequel I've read this year, because it can't be a reread, so I can't pick any of the First Law.
All your answers would just be First Law. So.
Exactly. I just read Golden Fool, the second book in the Tawny Man trilogy, which is the third series in the Realm of the Elderlings.
I don't know anybody who reads Realm of the Elderlings.
I didn't say my choices are obscure, Alan. Only my
actually
opinions.
Went off the beaten path to find Robin Hobb.
I know.
Anyway, as I was saying, Golden Fool by Robin Hobb is the best sequel that I read this year. I actually didn't really like the first book in the Tawny Man that much. Like, it wasn't bad. It's Robin Hobb, so it's good. But everyone hypes Tawny Man, and I really liked Live Ship, and everyone was like, wait till you read Tawny Man. And I was like, all right. And then I read Fool's Errand, and I was like, I mean, that was fine. It was probably my least favorite.
Everybody says about Robin Hobb. They're like, Farseer was good, but read Live Ship, and then Live Ship was good, but read Tawny Man.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you read, it's not as good as the next one.
I don't trust.
And then the Dragon one's just, it's fine.
Everyone says
it.
Any opinion that is like, oh, just wait till stop. Stop it. Stop.
But so I was like relieved. The Golden Fool, I was like, okay, that's more like it. This now we're back. This is 5 stars. This is good. I still don't think I like it better than Farseer, which is my favorite still.
Farseer's
but
fantastic.
Yeah, but between Farseer and Live Ship, I still liked Farseer a little bit better, but Live Ship is fantastic. And then Tawny Man, I think it's my least favorite of the 3 so far, but I haven't read the 3rd one yet. I'm reading that next month. But Golden Fool was back to being 5 stars, was back to being like, okay, this is like the level I'm expecting. The first one felt like a prologue that I was like, this is good and it's interesting and the characters are great, but like this feels like a very short, small setup book that I was like, this is the one that you guys are telling me is going to blow my mind. Like,
is Tawny Man any shorter than Live Ship, or does she continue her
crusade
of 800-page books?
The last series, Fitz and the Fool, those are like just as long as Live Ship, but the Tawny Man books are a little shorter. They're more like
600.
Yeah, like Fool's Errand, the first one was like a little shorter because it did feel like a prologue, and then Golden Fool was only a little bit longer. They are smaller in scope.
Everything's so long.
Live Ship.
Well, because right after I read Royal Assassin, which was amazing, and then you see like everything after that and through Live Ship, I was just like, every book is this thick.
Well, so I think for Farseer and for Live Ship, Farseer books are really, really long because a lot of time is passing, and then Live Ship is really long because you have a lot of perspectives. And then with Tawny Man, we're back to one perspective and not that much time is passing. So they're just shorter because of that.
Cool.
So next question is a new release that you haven't read but want to. Alan?
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing coming out that I want to read.
Nothing.
I mean, no, because like I've already started reading the book that I answered on when I did it. So
which was what?
The prequel to self-pub novel called Touch of Light. The prequel to that, Prelude to Ashes by Tiago. It came out, and I just hadn't read it yet, but I started it, so I don't actually have an answer for that because I'm not caught up with new releases. Like I don't want to read
Yeah.
anything that's coming out now. I want to read crap that has already come out.
I thought you were just going to stop it. I want to read crap.
That's what most people say. Like 90% of comments on here are going to be people defending Leanna, being like, "Wow, Greenboat is amazing. Alan, be the Leanna." This was 90% of the comments are going to be.
Alan, you gave Jade City 4 stars. I don't understand why this hate.
Because I don't read 93 books in 6 months and then pick Jade City as the best of them.
Maybe I just read a lot of crap.
I'm not objecting to you liking Jade City. You're misunderstanding me. I'm objecting to you naming it.
I did also read quite a few books that are not fantasy. So,
well, how many fantasy books do you read?
All of First Law, and I can't pick it because it's a reread.
Okay, fine. Jade City is number 1 of how many possible choices?
Oh, and Terry
no, I have not pulled the data.
Not well. Find me the data, and I might take it back. You didn't name Jade War for the sequel one, so we're okay.
I haven't read it yet.
No. Why? Why didn't you follow up your number 1 book of the year?
I actually sent you a voice message about this, Alan, and it's not my fault you didn't listen to it.
I did listen to it. I'm just trying to get you to confess it.
There's nothing to confess.
Confession time.
Well, just make sure you tell me how good Jade Legacy is. That's what I want to hear.
Are you done with answering this question?
Yeah. I don't have anything that's come out that I want to read.
I have a lot. I'll answer for you, Alan.
Pick one of Jesse's.
Yeah, you can pick one of mine. I
I
think you've read a lot of the ones I want to read.
Get to.
Justice of Kings.
Yes, that's good.
That one I've been hearing good things. And then Engines of Empire is another one I really want to read. And then I wasn't initially interested in this one, but it's been getting fantastic reviews. The Bladed Faith by David Dalglish, who's written like a ton of books, but this is like the new series that he has. And that one's been getting really good reviews. So that one I'm also interested in. So those 3, but I also have just like so many. So there you go.
It's a cool cover. It's got like a
isn't it cool?
looking guy on it.
Yeah, he's kind of scary.
The new one's coming out soon, I think.
That one.
Yeah, this is cool. What was the Justice of Kings? I did get that like a month or so ago. Haven't read that yet, but looking forward to it.
I've read that.
Did you like it?
Was it good?
It was all right.
Go figure.
I'm mad.
She doesn't like the book everyone else likes.
This is not a spoiler. I'm mad that the cover has a dude on it. The whole book is told from the perspective of a woman.
I have
she's
heard
the
that,
main character.
Yes,
why is he on?
But it's called Justice
because the justice is Von Vault. Like I understand. I agree. Like Helena is the main character, but she's what do you want her on the cover doing? She's his scribe. Like
you also don't have to have people on the cover.
You know what?
That's true, but they chose to have people. Like,
they could have just had a sword in the middle.
The cover of Hunger Games should have been PETA.
I mean, like, she's not even on the cover. If you're gonna have people, she could be with him on the cover, because she follows him around everywhere he goes. So, like,
I mean, sure, but if they did that, then they'd have to put Bresinger on the cover also.
Would they?
I mean, yes.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna have people on the cover, make it the person that is the main character of the book. Is all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, arguably the main character is Von Vault. Like it's just being told from. It's
not arguable.
I mean, okay, but the book's about Von Vault.
It's about this woman, and he has a huge effect on her life. But it's about her.
I like Helena also, but like it's
not
about
liking. It's not about liking. It's about his perspective. This story
she's not writing about her life outside of Von Vault. She's writing about him. Like those are the episodes she's choosing to chronicle. Is the episodes dealing with Von Vault.
But there are scenes that he's not in.
That's true.
Because it's her story. Anyway,
I mean,
so
it's
just
her
in case
story.
So bottom line,
before she met him,
it's told from the perspective.
You don't even like the book. You can't even talk about it.
I thought it was fine.
So what happens if you take the slip cover or the dust jacket off?
Oh,
then he's not on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Haha.
I was gonna be like, is there like Is she on the inside?
She's on it, yeah. She's in the background because she's his scribe. I have no idea what we're talking about. So my actual answer would be The Warrior by Stephen Arion, which is part 2 of The Quest for Heroes, is what it's called. I have the arc of it sitting right here. I need to read it. I'm going to read it next month because it comes out in August, I think, officially. But I loved the first book. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I like that it's a duology and that I don't have to read 15 books to finish the series. So it'll just be wrapped up. And it's not like the most original story or anything like that, but I loved what he did with it. And the characters were pretty interesting. And it was nice to just have what kind of felt like just like a adventure quest, short kind of fantasy book. And I liked it a lot. So I'm looking forward to book 2 for sure. Because I have no idea where it's going to go. Like, based on what happened in the first book, I'm not really sure what's going to be like the story of the second book, but it'll be pretty cool. Can
you repeat your answer? I heard everything except the name of the book. A student messaged me and I was responding. I apologize.
It's come here, book.
Whoa. Yeah, I also want to read this duology.
Gotcha. The Warrior. Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, this is just a proof copy, so I'm sure there's like stuff printed incorrectly, but
like you like The Coward. That's right. I saw you.
Yeah, I really like The Coward. Yeah. And I like reading books that are 400 pages instead of 1100. So
yeah. I hear that.
I feel like I'm gonna get yelled at. Whichever answer I give, as I have to.
I don't care. Whatever it is. Just say Jade Legacy. Just say it.
It's gonna be a new edition of the Blade itself.
I do have an edition of Blade itself coming that I don't have yet. No, but Speaking Bones, which is the 4th book in the Dandelion Dynasty, but I haven't read the 3rd one yet, so I have to read that first, and then Speaking Bones, and then Daughter of Redwinter, because I haven't read that yet.
Which one is that?
The one that we were supposed to read together that I've already finished.
You finished the
review
book?
out for?
Did you ever finish the Time
having
of
our
Courage?
discussion until like 2 weeks from now, so I have time.
It was good. I liked it.
Alan,
I do want to read
finish
the
Time of
Dandelion
Courage?
Dynasty.
I used to read really bad.
Read what you want, Alan.
Like it was high on my priority list, and now.
Did you ever finish A Time of Courage?
Oh, look at it. Yeah, I mean, I did.
You were like 3 months late after that one, though.
Dude. And even then, I had to listen to the back half on audio, and still barely. Like, I don't know what my problem was.
I don't know how you can read John Gwynne, Alan. It's so popular.
Well, I didn't like the Time of Courage, which everyone says is the best one.
But apparently it's not about whether you like it or dislike it. It's about the fact that you're choosing to pick up a book that apparently other people have also read. Gasp.
True, but that was last year. Like I came back and
so you're only a hipster this year.
I've always been a hipster.
You read John Gwynne.
So like
the battle of the hipsters.
So, you read and reread Abercrombie. What a freaking obscure series that no one's ever talked about.
But I never claimed to read obscure series.
Just go read Jade War.
I would like to.
Go freaking talk about Jade Legacy, Leah.
Okay, so most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Alan.
I don't want to pick up anything new. So it's either
we have the best panel for this tag.
Alan, it could be a book that no one has heard of and that no one else but you will read. You can choose that.
Sure. There's some book called Something About Empire that deals with like archivists. It's like a debut novel coming out this year that I kind of want to read. But really, it's the next Great Coach book if Jake Cassell ever publishes it. I got a feedback loop.
Is this you
do? Testing. Whoa.
Is it my turn?
Are you not wearing headphones?
I don't know why you're echoing.
It wasn't earlier. There we go. It's fixed.
It's not.
But really, probably Fury Song, the next Fireborn book, the book 3 and the Fireborn thing, comes out in August. So that's probably the one because that's the one I'll definitely read. I can't think of anything else coming out that's definitely coming out this year that I would stop what I was doing and read. So
did Dave Castell say that Great Coats is coming out this year, or do we not know?
Last time I spoke to him, he was he's supposed to come out September last year, but I think they got a timeline for this year. But again, I haven't seen anything about it, so maybe I got pushed back.
It is a sequel, right? We established
It's
that.
it takes place like
It's a few decades in the future.
No,
right?
like it's only like a couple years
Oh.
after book 4, but it's not. It doesn't follow them, but it takes place a couple years after book 4.
Yeah, it's going to be one of their kids, isn't it?
It is the grandchild of two of Grey Coat. We didn't really see in the books, but yeah, it's the grandkid of a Grey Coat, which is cool. So yeah, Fury Song or TBD Grey Coats if it ever comes out.
Expect Here Comes the Cavalry to be prevalent.
Heck yes. I don't give a crap. I like Here Comes the Cavalry. Are you kidding? Pleases me.
My answer is okay. Do you guys pronounce it Babel or Babel?
Babel. Because I'm not British. Are you Yas queening on Kwong's new book?
Yeah, R.F. Kwong.
But since it's about Oxford, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think it should be pronounced Babel.
It's Babel.
Okay, so
you know I'm going to say Babel.
Babel. I'm going to say Babel. Okay. I just tried reading the summary of it and I'm like so lost, but it's R.F. Kwong, so I'm going to read it. Dark academia, apparently, which is like the buzzwords, I feel like.
Did you like Burning God?
Dark academia. But I actually think this is Dark Academia because it takes place in Oxford and there's something with translations. I have no idea, but sounds great.
I think it is inspired by R.F. Kwong's own experiences in academia.
That's cool.
Did you like Burning God, Jesse?
I liked part 1 and then it went downhill.
Okay.
I hated the entire middle section of the
part 2. What was that? Oh,
and then I feel like the end. I wish it had ended slightly differently. Like it was fine where it went, but I wanted a much darker kind of like messed up.
They needed to nix part 2 and extend part 3.
Wait, I would just like to isolate though that like when else have you ever heard someone say that the Poppy War books were not dark enough? Which is Alex's position.
Because I'm saying because Death and Destruction is fine. I'm talking about like I don't want to spoil it here.
Yeah.
But the darkness that I'm talking about is specifically about Rin and how her story ends and where I actually thought it was going to go and wish it had gone would have just been cooler.
I get you. It's just funny to hear someone say that. I just wish it had been darker talking about the burning.
I'm dead inside, so
I agree.
Yeah, I thought the Burning God was fine, but it's definitely my least favorite. And
Dragon Republic was just so good, though.
I agree.
I think the Poppy War was the best one.
That was my favorite. But I still loved the Dragon Republic too. But yeah, so I'm super excited for. I'll read anything R.F. Kwong writes. So.
Yeah.
Alex.
Alex.
What's the question?
Your turn.
Coming out. You're excited about.
Anticipated release.
I kind of just
answered
it for the Warrior because it's not actually out yet.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what else is coming out. I don't keep up with like book releases. What are some books coming out?
Doesn't Sanderson have like 50 books coming out
next year? I don't. Oh, I guess is the 11th Metal coming out this year? I'll say that's that.
The Lost Metal. Yeah.
Yeah, 11th Metal is something else. That's a sci-fi book.
That's very confusing.
I have a book called The 11th Metal, but it's a sci-fi book.
Every tag I've watched says the Lost Metal for this question.
So the only reason I would say it is because the Warrior is my actual answer, and the Lost Metal I'm not that looking forward to, but I'm going to read it because I need to finish the series. Era 2 Mistborn is not my favorite. I actually actively dislike a lot of it because of the two main characters.
I hope they talk about the guy's hat even more.
Oh, they're going to. It's the funniest thing ever. When a joke hits one time, you have to say it 857 more times. So it's great. Wax and Wayne are just the best.
You can't have too much of a good thing.
Oh, of course not. You should definitely repeat it several more times. So no, I'm not looking forward to it in the sense that like, oh my God, I think it's gonna like, blow the doors off. It's just it's the 4th book of Era 2, and I want to see what happens. And if it has larger impacts on the Cosmere, but we'll see. The Warrior is my actual answer because I'm looking forward to that more. Yeah. But I just talked about that, so here we are.
Mine got pushed back, but it's still coming out this year.
Oh yeah.
The Cuckoo by Leo Carew.
Oh, I'm so excited. I will totally read that with you.
Is this when
Lana.
you're going to talk about the wolf again?
Yes.
Oh,
And
it's
we're
so
all
exciting.
gonna read it. Everyone here. is
When do you
gonna
want
read
to?
it.
The spider was so good. I was gonna say that for another answer.
When do you want to read it, first of all?
Well, originally the
comes out in December.
Cuckoo was gonna come out in September or something, and now it's coming out in December. So
I thought it was June. It was supposed to come out in June.
Yeah, I thought it was July, but whatever it was,
It's
yeah,
December now.
yeah.
technically still this year, so I can answer the Cuckoo for this
So when
question.
do you want to reread The Wolf and the Spider so that I can read it?
The spider's
The
so
months
good.
the months leading up. So
You
if
just
it
wanna
comes
do,
out
like-
December, then
Okay.
Alan,
October,
have you read
November.
The Spider yet?
No,
See, I think it improves
No.
upon everything in The Wolf.
it does.
that's cool.
It's so good. I
That's
think you're
cool.
really gonna like it.
I'm
Alan.
excited, but I gotta.
Does he
get
look
there.
excited? Alan, you should add some exclamation points
Oh.
to your name, and then you'll
Right?
get excited.
Yeah.
I'm compensating for my lack of excitement that I generally show.
Oh yeah.
Or
Alan's
maybe just like a
reaction right
bunch of
now is like,
E's.
oh yeah.
No. What's the next question?
Biggest disappointment.
Um,
I have a good one for this.
Emperor's Blades. I was told
Oh.
I had heard nothing but unanimous praise for The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley, book one of the Chronicles of the Unhinged Throne. Including
Oh, isn't it the one that like all of you hated?
Yes, everyone.
Like everyone was reading it and was just like, "Oh my god, this is trash."
I immediately removed it from my TBR.
Here's the thing: it isn't good. Like at best, if you are not harsh, at best it's fine. At worst, it's bad.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Petrick, like,
Praised
said
it.
it was like it's just I don't know. He had many things. He compared it to First Law in his
Mhm.
review. If you'll go look in Goodreads,
I
that was,
remember him praising it. That's why I
that's
was
what
like,
stuck
"Oh,
in
okay."
someone's craw. I forget. They were commenting on that. But Petrick likes most things he reads. So do I. By the time I read it, I had already heard about how much everyone hated it. So that colored it for sure. If
Yeah.
that hadn't happened, I still wouldn't have liked it. But I'd liked it more. The real problem is that like everyone blamed me somehow for the fact that it was bad. Like no one will listen to me about like books to read now because it's like, guys, I didn't pick that freaking book. I gave y'all a choice of 3. It was my 3rd choice. You guys picked it and don't want to guys, cut it out. Oh my god.
Are those the
Pick it?
cats doing that?
Yes.
I
Did
thought
the
it was like
cats
TV
pick that
noise
book,
or
and that's
something.
why they're like, "Hey, I thought it was great."
No, the freaking baby just, if he's awake, he just assaults his brother. Like he just attacks him. No reason. Anyway, and it's like, guys, like they do the hoi polloi does not want to accept responsibility for having chosen it. And then, so they're thrusting it on. So I'm a tyrant now. Next time I do a read along, as soon as Shadow Campaigns is over, I'm going to be like, hey guys, this is what we're reading.
And it'll
This
be
is the next read
law.
along. And they'll read it or they won't. But the masses,
Yeah.
like, don't blame me. It was
It's
bad.
so highly rated on Goodreads too.
And I don't.
Wait, what book are we talking about? I already forgot. I'm so
The
distracted by
Emperor's
everything.
Blades.
Go look it up. Go look
Oh.
it up on Goodreads. The Emperor's
Yeah.
Blades.
What's funny though is this is obviously based on who pops up as like my first friend reviews, but you see it's at a 4.08 on Goodreads, and I scroll down and Klaus is the first 1-star that shows up, and then right below him is a 2-star that goes, "Well, this was a waste of my life." And
All
then,
those low ones, they're all people
Yeah.
who read it for the read along.
oh, I know, because it was
Wow.
like Klaus and then Kyle and then Jake being like, "Well, the buddy read didn't exactly go to plan," and then it's just like 5 stars, but everybody that was part of that read along was just like, "Yeah, this was not good."
Everyone who has taste.
It was not. It just wasn't. It wasn't good. It tried too hard. It hit on like every trope that I despise. Like it was just
How much were they leaning?
so much. Like I don't know. It's just I thought it was going to be good and it wasn't. And so, what saved it for me is that after I heard everybody, ragging on it, I listened to it on audio with Simon Vance, who I'm going to end your lives. Claudius, leave him alone. Anyway, go on.
So Jesse, what was your biggest
I guess I'll
disappointment?
go next. I'm so distracted. My biggest disappointment was, I could say Tiger and the Wolf, but I didn't finish that one, so I won't say that one.
It's pretty
Even though I
disappointing
just
if you
had it.
DNF'd it.
Yeah, it is. It was disappointing because I thought it was going to be like, oh, Adrian Tchaikovsky, auto-author after Guns of the Dawn. Not necessarily the case. So
Yeah.
jury's still out on that one. But I will say the biggest disappointment, the book that I finished was Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lin Tan. I was so excited to read this one.
Hi,
It was
kitty.
like, oh, so cute.
That's the demon that's screeching.
Yeah, no, his brother screeches. This is the one that's causing it.
So cute.
Like, get me down so I can fight.
He's just, yeah, he wants me to. He's mad because I picked him up, made him stop.
But he's not attacking you, which is good.
No, he's just.
He's a cat. Give him 5 seconds.
He's just torturing his child. I mean, his brother. Just torturing his older brother. He has too much energy. Anyway, sorry.
So adorable. No, it's okay.
He looks so mad at you right now.
Yeah, I know. He is mad because I stopped him. Like, I pulled him off of his brother. Freaking Claudius.
Yeah, so Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Yeah, unfortunately, that one for me, I was so excited about it. Just this like awesome mythology retelling of the Moon Goddess, but actually her daughter. And unfortunately, it focused a lot more on the romance than I originally thought. And it was one of them that I just like, I went ahead and ordered before seeing like reviews come out for it. And a lot of reviewers then talked about the romance. So I probably wouldn't have like gone in as like, wow, with like high expectations if I'd known that it had such a heavy romance. And it's a love triangle that I just don't think works totally well because one side of it is so much more convincing than the other side. I'm like,
Why does anyone still write love triangles when everyone universally is like, ugh, and it has a love triangle?
Unless it's in Clockwork Princess.
Okay, yes. That's the only one.
The only one. But yeah, so unfortunately, like I don't love like fantasy romance. And it read really, really quick. Like the pacing was like, it was just so fast. Everything moved so quickly. The relationships, I just feel like they didn't develop as much as I wanted them to. Yeah, so that one's my biggest disappointment.
Mine is going to be Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynne.
Wow.
So,
It's a bummer.
book 2 of the Bloodsworn saga, which was one of my most anticipated of this year. And I got like halfway through it and I was so bored because I felt like literally nothing had progressed or happened. And I was just like, when is any of this going to go anywhere? And he does his normal thing of like having, villain POVs and all the stuff like you expect out of a John Gwynne book. I didn't care about the action this time around. Some of the POVs as of Blood and Bone was for me, very hit or miss, where half of them I just did not care at all about. And I don't know, it felt like a continuation that was just like not doing enough to keep me interested for most of the book. There were some really cool aspects of it. But I don't know. I don't really know like what this is all leading to this time around. And I don't know. Faithful in the Fallen just really worked for me. And it's like Faithful in the Fallen was like all the way up. And then of Blood and Bone kind of like cratered. And then it was like, and then I was like, Bloodsworn's awesome because Shadow of the Gods is great. And then Hunger of the Gods was just like, nope, we're going back downhill again.
That's
so I don't know.
Bummer.
For me, it just, I don't know. I didn't
Oh my
care.
God. I could have changed my answer. I just thought of a different one that was like a way bigger disappointment for me.
Jesse.
Like what?
Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse, which I don't know if anyone
Is that
has read
the
I was at the Black Sun.
I read Black
Black
Sun and I didn't like Black Sun, so I clearly should
Oh,
read.
yeah. No, continue on. Yeah, I already went. So that one was definitely my bigger disappointment because Black Sun was like one of my all-time favorite fantasy books. And now I don't even know if it's on my top 10. So sad.
My biggest disappointment was one I already said. So Fool's Errand, because everyone hypes Tawny Man. So I was like, even if people hadn't hyped Tawny Man, I expect a lot from Hobb, because I've liked everything else. So I'm like, yeah, another Hobb book, yes. And then I read it and I was like, I mean, this is a good book, which is why like I think disappointment I mean, it doesn't mean it's a bad book. It just means you had high expectations.
You have to
and
put it in perspective of
let
where
them
your
down.
expectations are. That's all.
Yeah. So like I felt the most disappointment
Mm-hmm.
reading Fool's Errand because I expected this to be like the start of my new favorite Hobbes series, and I was like, it's fine. Like this is better than most books that I would read, but not on the level of other Hobbes books. So that's my biggest disappointment. Biggest surprise, Alan.
What did I say for this one? Hold on, let me look at my books. Biggest surprise. I guess this is
cheating.
Good surprise. This is I'm looking at my freaking list.
You're looking at your own answers.
Yeah, it's obviously a good surprise, right?
I guess. I mean, it doesn't say that. It just says biggest surprise.
Yeah,
so.
but it can be like biggest disappointment. I think this is supposed to be the opposite. Like you didn't expect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my biggest surprise is Touch of Light, the self-pub novel by Chiago Abdallah I was talking about. Because I don't read a lot of self-pub. I don't tend to love everything that I read that's self-published, and I feel bad saying that. But I mean, I don't read a wide enough breadth to really, have a bunch of ones that I really, really like. Most of the time I read self-pub and it's fine. Like I like it just fine, but it's not like, but I really like this one. Just the quality. It feels very, very like often there is a difference in quality just between the physical book to the text inside. Like there is often a difference that one comes to expect from self-pub versus traditional publishing. Like I'm not trying to rag on anybody specific. I'm just saying that, it costs money. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just from holding the book, like the book feels like a traditionally published book. The pages feel like traditionally published pages. The polish of the writing is really good. Not everyone likes the story, which I understand, but I liked it a lot. It was definitely because I picked up on a lark. Like I'd never even heard of it. When I requested it from NetGalley, it wasn't even in Amazon and Goodreads. Like I couldn't even find it. I'm like, does this book exist? but yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and the author's really nice. So
I'm gonna add this one.
It was good. I liked it.
Alan got one of those emails where the author was like, "Can I send you a PDF?" And you're just like, "What is this?"
Wow, I'm gonna add it.
Can you read my book in 1 week and tell me what you think of it? Here is a PDF of it.
No, my students ask for rec letters. Like, will you write me a rec letter for college? I'm like, when do you need it? They're like, end of the week. I'm like, then no. If you need it in a month, like I'll write it for you. But I don't have time to do it this week. I never have time. I don't have time to write your stupid rec letter. Also, I don't like you that much, so.
The rec letter will be like either my recommendation of you is directly proportionate to how much time you give me to write it.
I sent a bad rec letter once. I was like, "Are you sure you want me to write?" It's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." It was.
If
crap.
someone says, "Are you sure?" that is the sign to say no.
Yeah. Are you sure?
I thought he was funny. He thought he's one of the ones that doesn't take anything seriously. So he thought I was joking when I would get mad at him. It's like, no, I'm serious. You don't do anything, and that's what I told him.
Oh my god.
True story. I don't feel bad, even a little bit. I hope he didn't get to any college.
Oh my gosh. All right. My answer is going to be The Spider by Leo Cruz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, honestly, like The Wolf was good. I really enjoyed The Wolf. I really liked
it was just me and you. Like me and you were the only ones that did.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so polarizing. I thought it was good. Whatever. But just The Spider, just the way it improves upon everything. The characters are so much more compelling, and I already thought they were compelling, but you just don't know who you're supposed to root for. You're like there's not really a good and bad side, and I guess that's the whole point, right? But it's just so fascinating, and I love military strategy, unique military strategies that has nothing to do with fighting, and it's all about outmaneuvering your opponent, and I love that kind of stuff, and just how smart some of the characters are, and the
read the 1,000 names. Read what you're saying is, if you like that, 1,000 names.
Okay. I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's not even the action scenes, it's the maneuvering, the outwitting the opponent.
That's what I liked about The Wolf too. I like the
You'll love it in The Spider. It's so good.
And it's
so
much
good.
more like a conspiracy investigation.
Yes.
Plotline.
Yes.
The Spider.
So you're just like there's like this big mystery, like who's the So it's really good, and I'm super pumped for the Cuckoo. I'm so excited. So that was my biggest surprise, just how much it improved upon the Wolf. Because I already liked the Wolf, but yeah.
Alex?
I'm gonna go with A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms because I had never read it, and I didn't expect George R.R. Martin to actually impress me with a, essentially very short novel of Dunk and Egg that's way before A Song of Ice and Fire happens, and it was just adorable and super enjoyable, and lots of you get a lot of the familiarity of A Song of Ice and Fire without beating you over the head with it. And Dunk and Egg are just fascinating characters, and their dynamic together just made it almost felt like sweet a lot of the times, which is totally out of the norm if you're just reading A Song of Ice and Fire, because Westeros is not a nice place.
Sweet is not in the top 10 of words that you would choose
No.
to describe.
Like there's absolutely some
Game of Thrones that's sweet.
no, there's some garbage people in this too, but like a lot of what they get through, I was just like, oh, that's kind of cute. And I never do that reading A Song of Ice and Fire. So
well, dang, you just sold it to me.
It's
Say
good.
No more.
And it's fully illustrated.
Yeah, the illustrations are really good.
It's fully illustrated. There's a lot of great illustrations. Learning about who Dunk is a lot of fun, or Dunk and Egg, I should say. And then seeing like where they're going to end up is kind of cool as well.
And in general, connections too, like stuff you've heard about in the main series.
And you even hear about them a little bit in Fire and Blood, and of course you hear mentions of them throughout the series. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I'm going to add it.
It's considerably shorter than any other Song of Ice and Fire book.
Very, very short.
That's your biggest surprise, is that it's so short.
It was a surprise just because like I didn't expect to like anything in the world like as much as the main novels, and it was just really well done. My other answer would be The Gunslinger, just because I love that. But
nice.
I started that in December and finished it January 1st.
So
it still technically counts.
Oh, okay.
I started at like December like 28th or something, and then read it in like 2.5 days, something like that. But The Gunslinger I absolutely loved.
Drawing of the Three is...
I also love that, and that was insane.
That was a surprise.
That's my second favorite one after Wizard and Glass.
Yeah, I actually I'm almost done with The Wastelands, and I think I like it slightly less. It feels really long.
Yes.
Like parts of it definitely drag out, and I feel like it doesn't need to be as long as it is, but it's still good.
My biggest surprise was The Alice 6 by Olivia Blake, because it's one of those like as seen on TikTok sensations.
Wait, you liked that one?
Yeah, I really liked it.
It's another dark academia book.
That is one, again, that is a surprise. I did not expect
it's almost like that was the question.
I mean, I went into it because like NetGalley had the newly edited, because it was self-published before, and so then now that it was edited and published properly, well, I shouldn't say properly, but like traditionally.
I have that book. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, so I saw NetGalley had it, and I was like, well, I'll read it for free. Sure, I want to see what all the buzz is about.
Yeah.
I was like, at the very least, I'll get a vlog out of it. And I expected it to be like everything Alan hates. I expected it to be leaning and angst and like really dramatic CW kind of thing, but with like a vaguely academic setting. That's what I was going into it prepared for. And I was like, best case scenario, I find this entertaining. And I actually thought that like, it's not the most brilliant thing I've ever read, but considering my like super, super low expectations, it actually well exceeded my expectations. It was a lot more like clever and smart and nuanced, and like a lot more like interesting gray areas that it was like playing with. Like it just did a lot of things a lot better than I thought it would, and continued to, where I thought I had a read on it. I was like, okay, this is better than I thought it would be, but okay, I think I know what this is now, and I think I know how this is going to go. And then it kept surprising me, and it kept doing more interesting things than I was giving it credit for it possibly doing. And so like I finished it, and I was like, actually that was pretty good. So I will read the sequel.
That's exciting. I feel like, Alan, you have to read the Atlas Six because it takes place in the Library of Alexandria.
Yeah, I heard that, but I also was told I wouldn't like it.
I don't.
Oh, I doubt you. I doubt you.
But when I read it, my brain auto-corrected Library of Alexandria.
I know.
Alexandria.
I always do that.
In the play I do, Iliad, there's a point where I say Alexandria, but it's hard because I almost slip up every time and say
because he says Alexandria and then he looks right at the camera and winks.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I teach about, Alexander the Great and
So
the many Alexandrias he founds, and it's just hard to not say Alexandria. I slipped up in class once talking about Caesar setting the library on fire. I was like, and I just glossed over it. No one noticed, but I noticed.
I
Like,
was gonna say, because some of your students watch your channel, they would have been like, yeah.
No. Whoops.
Favorite new author, debut or new to you?
I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I didn't read a lot.
Wait, how many of these questions has the answer opened with, I don't know?
Because I didn't read a lot, and so I didn't read a bunch of new authors. I'm going to say what I said for my video, which is Guy Gabriel Kay. I read Tagana and liked it. And that's it. Like, I only read, like, what am I supposed to say? Friggin' KJ Parker. I read him last year. Daniel Abraham, Terry Pratchett. Like, I just it's not Byron McClellan, and I discovered him last year too. So really, yeah, like there's not a lot to choose from, and I didn't want to mention A Touch of Light and the self-pub book like 40 times. So instead, I'm picking Guy Gabriel Kay. I liked it. I mean, I really, really enjoyed Tagana. Once I finally got through it, there's one chapter in Tagana that is absurd. And it's where I stopped when I was reading it. And then when I came back 6 months later, I listened to the audio with Simon Vance, who's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I listened to it, like I read it, and I'm like, this is why I stopped here. I'm at this freaking part. Like, what is this chapter? The second the chapter is over, it just like flew, just like the first part did. But there's one chapter that just stops everything. And I don't know.
Like, does it not fit in with the rest of the book?
It's based on the actual mythology of the actual land that Guy Gabriel Kay is basing the place on. So I understand why it's there, but I don't understand it as far as like plot purposes are. I'm just like, what? It's just absurd.
What land is he basing it on?
I don't know. Some European folklore about corn swords, like ears of corn as swords. It's like some festival fairy tale thing. I don't know. Jake Bishop knows all about it and sent me the link. But I was like, this is a real thing. He should cut this from this book. Anyway, once it was done, it was great. So I like Guy Gabriel Kay. There's too much sexy time. If he had removed those two scenes, which literally served no purpose, I would have really, really liked Tagana. So I've heard that the sexy time stays, but it gets less explicit, which I'll take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, GGK.
Nice. Mine is a kind of a repeat answer. Michael J. Sullivan. Legends of the First Empire is now my favorite fantasy series of all time. It has surpassed Stormlight Archive.
That's not my opinion. You're the new Leanna.
I don't think she said she hates Starlight Archive. That's an important.
I love Starlight Archive.
Yeah, but you've ridden that horse too long. Like you can't keep doing that one. You got to renew your credentials.
Do you know? Is that how this works?
Yes. Sorry,
this is why I keep rereading First Law. I keep renewing my credentials.
Yeah. But yeah. So Michael J. Sullivan. I love the way he writes women. Like, I just love every single one of his female characters in Legends of the First Empire.
I was going to say, do you, because I've only read Revelations, because I don't think the females are that well written in Revelations.
Wait till you read Legends. Okay.
But I just wanted to make sure that you're not like, what are you talking about? They're great in Revelations. And I'd be like, uh-oh, I will not
No. And it's interesting because I like Hadrian and Royce a lot in Revelations. And so I thought that Legends was going to be more like a male-dominated perspective, just the way he wrote Hadrian and Royce. He was really good at the male perspective. It is like mostly female characters, and every single one of them are like my favorite characters of all time. So I think that's the difference where like Stormlight for me, like I have like 1 or 2 characters from that series that like I love, would make my favorites list. Legends, it's like every single character in that whole ensemble makes my favorite list. So I think just the number of characters that I love with my whole heart, and the fact that it is like a completed series and it stuck the landing and it just like nailed it. Oh, so good. So
That's
yeah.
cool.
So for me then, since Leona's giving me a weird look, would be Bernard Cornwell, because I started The Last Kingdom.
Yes.
I bought like 9 of them, and there's 13 of them. Because my wife and I actually binged the whole Netflix series, and it was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, I fully went into it expecting to love it and it's told slightly different because you're introduced to Uhtred, as an old man kind of telling his story. So the narrative's slightly different, but a lot of the same story beats. Obviously, most of the same characters following the same sort of path that they did, at least at this point in the show. But it's, what does Alan say? Deliciously short.
Yes.
It's like 340 pages or something. It's really well written. It made me super interested in 9th century Saxon tales to go and actually read a lot of like history about it and see where they're pulling from, because obviously the timelines aren't exact, and Uhtred is kind of like the character that facilitates all these places interacting that probably didn't happen the way that it happens. But it's really well done. I mean, combat's super interesting and well done. The characters and the dialogue is fantastic in these books. And it's, even though it's like a historical fantasy, essentially, it's still reading very much like another fantasy book that I would read, with interesting characters and places that they go, and having that additional history and context added to it is just a lot of fun, because I was constantly going and like reading what really happened to so-and-so. And I mean, it's just a lot of fun.
Have you read Warlord Chronicles?
No, this is my first Cornwell novel I've ever read, and I hear that that's better. So I'll probably read all of The Last Kingdom, and then or the Saxon stories. What is it actually called? It is called The Last Kingdom, right?
That's the Saxon Chronicles.
The Saxon, yeah. So I'll read Warlord Chronicles after.
Very cool.
Yeah.
For me, it's excuse me, Ken Liu. Yeah. I mean, after I read Paper Menagerie, just that, I was like, you're amazing. Because I mean, with a short story collection, you can kind of see a lot of different things that an author can do, a lot of different styles that they can write in, a lot of different types of like story concept that they're capable of. And every single story in Paper Menagerie blew me away. I was like, how? And they were also it showed off like a pretty big variety in terms of like, again, Dante, like the prose would change, like the type of like narrative that it is, and also like the concepts that he's playing with, or the type of themes that he's playing with. I was just so impressed with Paper Menagerie. So then I was like, yeah, well, obviously I'm going to read Dandelion Dynasty. And the writing style in Dandelion Dynasty is more akin to like my least favorite stories in Paper Menagerie, but Paper Menagerie, every single story is great. Like there was just ones that like I resonated more with than others, but all of them were amazing. So the fact that Dandelion Dynasty is more similar to the ones that were less than, they were like 5 stars instead of 6 stars. Like it's not really a problem. But yeah, it's just a very, very impressive writer.
I've heard that.
I don't think I've heard anyone dislike Paper Menagerie, so I really need to read it.
I haven't heard anybody dislike Grace of Kings.
Well, I think Grace of Kings, I wouldn't be at all surprised someone disliking it.
I've heard some people that don't like it, or just like it's fine.
It had like a pretty low Goodreads rating at one point. I don't know.
I'm gonna guess it's the narrative structure of it, though, right? Because
it's really, really kind of dense.
And I should read Paper Menagerie because it's short stories, right? In the short stories.
Yeah.
Yes, I love things that are short.
I read all of. Okay, I don't really recommend doing this, but I read all of Paper Menagerie in one day. And it is like the emotional turmoil that you will experience, because every single story will wreck you in some kind of way, either intellectually wreck you or emotionally wreck you. Either it'll be like dark, or it'll be so like sad and poignant that you're weeping. So I was just like in my feelings for the whole day. It was awful.
I can't read a whole book in a day. So I'm going to put I'm gonna put that book on my list. I don't know why I don't have that on my list. I'm putting it.
But like, not because of length. I just advise spreading it out, just because like it's emotionally a lot to deal with. Each of those stories.
I don't read fast enough to read 500 pages in a day.
I don't think it's
Or-
500 pages.
It's 464 for the hardcover.
Well, I have the paperback, but like the print isn't like very big.
Yeah. Still, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's not like super short, but the paperback is 440 something. 450.
There you go.
Put that on
Anyway,
my list.
yeah.
Not bad.
It's so good. But yeah, you will cry. You're a monster if you don't cry. Where are we at? Newest fictional crush, Alan.
I'm pretty sure I literally passed on this question when I did this tag last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Shall we agree to skip this one?
yes, just skip it. Like
Unless
I'm not 13
Someone's
years old.
dying to share their favorite.
I'm not a child. I don't.
Why
get
is this
crushed on
here?
characters.
Why in as long as this tag's been going on, why has this not been excised and replaced?
Because the original tag has this as a question.
Well, so you're saying that I can next year change this question and say, like, look at my original tag. because
Alan,
it's
who are
not
you
the same.
crushing on? Just tell us.
My wife.
We all know it's Ben
Right
Barnes.
answer.
Okay, so move on.
Whatever.
Good answer.
So newest favorite character.
What did I say?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, we can't do rereads, right? Can't do reread books.
It has
why
to be
not?
new favorite character. So yeah.
Lame. Well, I'm pitching the Colonel from Thousand Names, Janice Betvalnich. It's that brilliant. He's the brilliant like Napoleon / Wellesley archetype. Just brilliant tactician. I just love brilliant characters. So that, but I've read those before. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna say Kunessen from The Company. He is the main character, and one of the worst human beings I've read in a book while being a hero. Like he's a war hero. Like he's a good guy. Like he's saved people in the war. He's just so incredibly human, and it's just it's terrifying. Like Zara and I were reading the book together, and we're like, this guy is just frightening with his humanity, I guess. So it sticks with me for sure. And again, I haven't read a ton this year, but Kunessen from The Company, I will say.
Oh man, I don't want to keep repeating myself.
Just say something from Rhaeria.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Emily from Guns of the Dawn and
Yes.
Suri, Persephone, Bryn, Moya, Roan, Gifford, like every character from Legends of the First Empire. Those are all my favorites. They're fantastic, each and every one. I never remember names ever in any books. I remember every single character's name in that book. I just love them so much. Yeah. So those.
I guess
Alex.
mine would have to either be Locke and John from Liza Locke or freaking Eddie Dean in Dark Tower because he's hilarious.
Sorry.
Goodness.
Sorry.
Please. Just because if you know anything about
Alan's
the Dark
allergic
Tower,
to French.
yeah, right. Genre.
Genre.
Yeah, I mean, if you know anything about Dark Tower and where characters appear from, Eddie just being in the situation that he's in based on like where he's from, he's just a hilarious character to follow. I don't want to spoil anything in Dark Tower, but just those characters interacting is already insane, and the fact that it's dealing with different like time periods, it's hilarious. So,
Eminent Sage and Junkie, Henry Dean.
oh man, yeah. So Eddie Dean, this is my pick.
Mine is Hilo from Jade City.
Who?
Hilo.
Is that an unpopular or a popular opinion? Because
I think
It's a popular opinion, but
I was going to
it's
say, well, I think it's a popular opinion among people who like the books. People who dislike the books cite Hilo as the reason they don't like the books.
Hilo's. Are you?
Yes, Alan?
You are entitled to whatever opinion you want.
Yeah.
Please tell us why Hilo's amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like the relationship I have with Giselle from First Law, where like he's the worst, but I love him.
I don't even know what Giselle is, but it's not like that.
I was gonna say Giselle and Hilo could not be more different.
I know, I know how different they are, but it's like my experience of like I know they're the worst.
Hilo's a boneheaded
but I love them.
thug.
Hilo is like all of
the thug.
Hilo is like all of my favorite parts of Peaky Blinders rolled into one character.
I don't like Peaky Blinders.
Oh, really?
That's your problem.
You like Peaky Blinders,
Alan? My students really like it, so I fight with them about this a lot. Yeah, I don't like Irish newsies.
They're not Irish.
Sorry, what are they?
English.
Fine. I don't like freaking Gangs of London by Martin Scorsese.
They're not in London.
I don't care where they are. That's how little I care.
How can you dislike something that you don't know anything about?
I don't like Cillian Murphy.
You don't? He's a great actor.
He is.
Okay.
Why don't you like Cillian Murphy?
Because look at him. Like, get some rest. I don't even know what that means.
Why does he look tired all the time?
I am indifferent to Cillian Murphy. I have seen him as Scarecrow in Batman.
Have you never seen The Wind That Shakes the Barley?
I want you to repeat the name of that movie and then tell me if I've seen it.
It's a historical like revolution. It's about like Irish revolutionaries. It seems like a thing you would be into.
I'm dying.
I am in.
Have you seen him? Get some rest.
I am into ancient history and the Napoleonic Wars.
And revolutions of any description.
Of the Irish. I mean,
his name is Cillian Murphy, so yes.
Oh my gosh. That might have been the funniest diss. That's like
I don't even know what it means.
Kind of a diss, I guess.
Anyway, sorry, Leanna. You can like Hilo. Why is Hilo?
I was like, we're not even talking about Hilo. We're talking about
I don't like
Tommy Shelby. I think Hilo is surprisingly well written for a character that could be just a violent guy. He has like a lot of nuance to his character. And you see, I mean, I've started reading Jade War, so you see even more of it there. But like even in Jade City, and when you first see that character, you're like, I know this character is. He's just, he's the guy that just picks fights all the time. That's who he is. And then as the book goes on and as circumstances change and he's forced to do, you're able to see more of him because of the circumstances. And he's also forced to like reach deeper and find more in himself than to just be that. And he's very self-aware about that, where he's like, I'm the guy that picks fights. That's my thing. Like, I'm only good at that. And you're expecting me to be good at something that I'm not good at. And I think it does a really good job, like, of actually exploring him as a three-dimensional character.
Are you sure you're not letting Jade War bleed into that? Because I read Jade City, and that's all Hilo does.
That's what I said in my review of Jade City before I ever started Jade War.
Oh, well, all Hilo does is pick fights in that book.
Untrue.
I can see that. I can see.
Really?
I can see with that.
I don't remember any part that he doesn't pick fights, unless like someone doesn't let him.
Piece of it. Yeah, I remember not loving Hilo.
You didn't like Hilo,
but I didn't like him. But I didn't. I felt very indifferent. I don't know.
Do you think you can fix him, Leanna? Is that why?
No, he doesn't need to be fixed.
Yeah, he's well adjusted. You're right.
He's not well adjusted, but I mean, like, he is who he is. And given the circumstances that his family's in, the way he is definitely better for the No Peak clan than being a well-adjusted person. That would not help No Peak clan.
False. False. I disagree.
Well, we'll talk when you read Jade War.
Well, they need to... Look, Hilo, just take your enforcers and go punch something. Like, just go punch something. Leave this to the adults.
I knew you were going to say adults.
The adults are navigating complex political situations.
Have you watched Succession on HBO?
No.
I saw the first 2 episodes, I think.
Okay. It starts really slow, but it reminds me so much of Jade City.
I like Succession. I just haven't.
Someone said that. I heard someone say that too. Word.
It the character work is so similar, where it's the same kind of thing, where it's like horrible, horrible humans being like they're products of their environment, they're products of their upbringing, right? So it's just fascinating to see these characters that you end up like rooting for, but you know that what they're doing is wrong, and it's like that same kind of like.
So me, when I was reading Jade City, I was like, okay, so Hilo is basically Arthur Shelby, but he's like forced to try to become Tommy Shelby. And then Lan is more like Tommy Shelby, but less violent. And then Shay is basically Ada. And like, there's just like so many parallels. I was like, so this is Peaky Blinders in magical modern Asia.
Jesse, what did you say you were looking forward to most this year? The book coming out?
Me?
Yeah, what did you say?
Babel.
It's not Locklands?
I'm already reading Locklands.
Okay.
I'm reading it right now. If I wasn't reading it right now, then that would have been my answer.
I just saw it pop up, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna lose a challenge on that book.
Yeah, probably. No, I'm reading it right now. It's wild.
Is it good? Because I still have to read Shorefall, which I suppose I can do now.
Yeah, I can't really talk about it without you reading Shorefall.
Word.
Anyways,
make you cry, Alan.
Tigana. The end.
Really?
The end section is the end section. I thought was really I am easily emotionally manipulated with the kind of like the.
You always talk over my answers. Let me tell you how much I hate Tigana.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
Aggravated I am that you like it.
I understand why people don't like Tigana, but I am susceptible to the kind of like mythic, like story like quality of the story being told in Tigana. Like I don't like it. It just feels like a tale being told by a bard to me. And I know I'm being emotionally manipulated going into the ending, and it worked. And just the last section. I mean, I didn't cry. I don't cry at books really, but it was the closest I came. I was definitely moved. So yeah, Tigana. I mean, again, like if I had read more, maybe there'd be a different answer, but that's the closest I got.
I cry a lot during books, and Age of Swords, Age of War, and Age of Empire are the 3 books in the Legend series that made me very, very upset.
Wow.
Not necessarily. Well, never mind. I won't say anything. That's all. I feel like this could get like dangerously spoilery if you say too much when you're talking.
I didn't say that the ending of Tigana broke me. It was just very emotional.
I don't. If that's a spoiler, then you're too sensitive to spoilers.
What?
In my opinion.
Like that literally says that saying the ending broke me says that someone died at the end, which
no, it doesn't. That's you interpreting those words. And if that spoils it for you.
Every time someone has said that and I have read the book, it meant someone died. Like, it's
You
possible
only
it
read,
doesn't
like,
mean
5
that.
books. So.
But in my experience, you're right. I have only read like 5 books. And in those 5 occasions, the characters died at the end.
That's like when in like the 3rd Dresden book, I said Michael is one of my favorite characters. And people were like, oh my God, you said there's a character named Michael. Shut up.
That's like, I care so little about spoilers unless it's ruining a mystery and character deaths. Those are the only 2 things I care about.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about a character dying.
Yeah.
Is it Michael? Does Michael die?
I would not have gotten mad at you for saying there's a character named Michael. That wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
I had someone comment when I was talking about the Burning God and how I didn't like how the Burning God ended. I had someone saying that I should stop talking about spoilers when I'm talking about how I feel about the 3rd book in a series. Like me sharing my thoughts was a spoiler.
The Burning God is one of those books that I'm talking about that people spoil like left and right when they were like, because I read it late and everyone's like, oh my gosh. It's like, okay.
That's not a spoiler though.
Although I feel like mentioning a character name, if it's like book 2 of a series, Joe very much appears to be dead. And then you're talking about book 3 and you're like, I love the part where Joe, blah, and you're like, so he's alive?
Well, that's true. But why are you watching a review for the 3rd book in a series without having read it?
Because you want to support the channel.
I mean, that's true, but then you don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, so like that's like the reverse spoiling of a character death. It's like spoiling a character undeath.
No, I agree, like resurrections or whatever, but
yeah. I don't know. Saying the ending of a book is sad is not a spoiler.
It's not that it's sad. It's when they say it broke me. It's that specific
cares?
thing.
Maybe they're just an emotional mess.
I'm gonna be the person who cries wolf and just say like every ending now.
You
It
should.
broke me.
The people
you
that
off.
say the ending broke me are the people who are talking about character deaths. I promise.
Probably.
But Alex, what made you cry?
Nothing. I'm a zombie.
Alice doesn't cry at books.
I don't cry at books. The closest thing that got me to like
You cry your children wrecking your books.
yeah, no, I've just come to accept that. The closest thing to like I guess just at least making me emotional was Pet Sematary, and no, it's not technically a fantasy book. But just the subject matter that it deals with, and then knowing why King wrote it, and then having a 2-year-old son, and just some of the stuff that happened. And like it's more of like relating it to my own like being a parent with a son. And literally as I was reading the book, my son like took off like beelining for the road. Luckily we live on a cul-de-sac, so it's not a very busy 18-wheeler road that is in the book. But I was like, yeah, I understand why this is scary. So I guess Pet Sematary got me the closest to that, but no, I didn't like cry reading it, but there's some scenes in that are pretty tough for sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That one's a really hard read.
it's definitely a lot worse as a parent because you're just like, I haven't thought about some of that.
That was my first King, and when people told me that, well, first that I should start there, and then that I learned that Stephen King thought that was the darkest thing he's ever written, and it was too dark to publish, and I was like, you people want me to start with the thing that King thinks is too dark to publish. What? And then I read it, and I was like, okay, that was dark. Like, no saying it's not dark, but I've read darker things than that. But then, like the way you just said, like I understand why King himself personally would find that to be the darkest thing he's written.
I mean, I think that's
like,
why
it was
just
dark,
like
but
no, because I kind of felt the same. I read it, I was like, this isn't the most messed up thing I've ever read, but the timing of when it came out probably, and just that people likely weren't writing things like that, and how like because for the longest time I was reading and I was like, this doesn't even feel like it's that scary of a book. Like I can tell it's going to end up, and and then just like shit, it's the fan. And I was like, oh, okay, here's King. Like here's all the messed up stuff.
Yeah.
Did you listen to it by chance on audio?
I listened to some of it, yeah, because
Michael C. Hall.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like when I listened to him read it, I was like, "That's now I picture Lewis as Dexter," and there's two movies of it, and he's not in it either.
Yep.
I was like, he should have just played Lewis.
I loved him. I loved him as his judge voice was fantastic.
Yeah, in general, he was a good narrator.
Yeah,
oh my god, I need to listen to that book.
Yeah, the audio is great.
I love Michael C. Hall.
But again, he should have played Lewis. It would be a better movie if he did.
Yeah. The movie didn't look that good to begin with, so.
Yeah, I
can see like very much changed it in that Lewis adaptation.
The newer one, like speaking of like King thinking that he couldn't write it because, I mean, spoiler, there's a 2-year-old. Like that being the thing that happens. For the new movie, they changed it to where it's like the sister and it's like an 11-year-old instead of a 2-year-old. So I guess they still didn't want to show that. But the original movie, I'm pretty sure did. So whatever.
Who knows? Yeah. Well, I've already said what book made me cry. It made me ugly cry twice. And that was Paper Menagerie by Ken Leo. Like I did not expect to cry. And then I cried the first time. And I was like, okay, no one told me I'd cry, but all right. So we got through the sad story. And then like 2 or 3 stories later, I was like, this is worse. I'm crying more. And then after that, I was like, every story, I was like, are you going to make me cry? Are you going to make me cry? So it's a lot. Okay. Book that made you happy.
The Office Untold Story, behind the scenes, an oral history, something like that. I listened to it on audio. It was like right at the beginning of May because I didn't read anything in April. And I was like, I'm never going to pick up a book again. Like, I just don't want to read anything. And I don't know where I saw this. It was on, I was watching a YouTube video about, I don't know, something about The Office. And it was like an ad on there. And I'm like, oh, let me listen to that. And I listened to the sample and I was like, dang. And I listened to it. And that's pretty much all I did for like 3 days was just listen to interviews with the cast and crew of The Office. It was just fun. Like it just, I love The Office, so it made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Mine is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. It's an adorable middle grade fantasy book, and it's about Amari who's going to search for her missing brother and gets tangled into this like supernatural world. And it's just the most precious story. I love it so much. It like genuinely made me smile several times, and I just thought it was like exactly what a middle grade should be. Like the perfect amount of like whimsy and fun with like just the right amount of like more serious, well executed themes that are like important for like young kids to learn about. So it was just like a perfect balance of all the things that make a middle grade so much fun to escape into. So that one, very excited for the sequel this year.
I guess the closest for me to making me happy would have just been The Color of Magic, which I didn't love, but I love some of it. And Rincewind being just kind of like a failed wizard, and just learning about like how difficult magic actually is to use in Discworld is just funny in itself, because you have this dork Two Flower that like doesn't know what's going on. He's just like a tourist. And they're just like, well, you're a wizard. Can't you just like cast spells? He's like, do you know how long it takes to memorize a spell? And then you use it once and it's gone. Like, I can't just, I'm not that kind of wizard. I can't just like wield magic left and right. So Discworld is just always a lot of fun and lighthearted. And even though I didn't love it, you know, because I had already read Mart and Guards before this. So it was like a step down from that, but it's fun to read about. And I love Terry Pratchett's writing. So.
Yes.
Yeah, that reminds me, Reaper Man also did the same for me, where it was like the ending of Reaper Man lost me a little bit. It's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
But I do love seeing Death as a character have to like become a farmer. Just, like,
that's fantastic. And he's in The Color of Magic too.
He's in most of the books. He makes an appearance.
I love Death.
Yeah.
I love how like fish out of water he is, basically. Just like doesn't understand.
Every time I say I love Death, it just sounds so bad. But I do. I love him. Great character.
Yeah, I don't really like or read happy fantasy books. Like,
yeah, I don't either.
Like the thing that makes
my books.
It makes me happy to read First Law, but it's not like a happy book, and it's also a reread, so I can't pick that. So the only thing I can think of that I read this year that is technically fantasy that made me happy, because I did read some books that made me happy. They were not fantasy. My Lady Jane. No, that didn't make me happy. My Lady Jane, which is it's a series where they're taking different like historical figures / literary figures and like retelling it in like a whimsical, quirky, jokey like way. So that was the very first one they ever did, and it's about Lady Jane Grey, but in it like there's like shapeshifters, and it's just like it feels like a British comedy sketch, but in like a long book, because it's like a ton of just like snarky British humor and references to like other British stuff. And so like I didn't think that, like, I read another of this series that was a later one before, and it was better. This was the first one they did, so I didn't think it was that good, as good as the later ones. But it's still like it had a ton of humor in it that is my kind of humor. So I was like, I don't think this book is that good, but like this is my humor, so I'm having a good time. We have 2 questions left, only 2, and I don't know how we want to do this, but the next one is most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or CH. Do you want to go get them?
No, I'm gonna hand wave this one and be like, I don't care. Like, I mean, I bought a broken binding Empire Black and Gold, but it's not out yet. It looks nice.
Ooh.
It's black and gold.
Oh, I like that choice.
What? I'm not gonna go get it because I'm too lazy right now. But unfortunately, it was one of my more disappointing books. But it was Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Look at that cover. Is that not the most beautiful thing? So that one, so pretty.
Okay, I got a book. So this is The Purple Prince, which the author sent
Dang, that
to
is
me.
pretty.
That's
It's a
cool.
self-published book. It's a epic fantasy. It's super well made, and he laughed in his letter to me saying that he probably spent entirely too much money on getting this bound the way he did, because it's, you know, nice official hardcover. The paper feels super high quality, and he also sent a whole ass map that's all colored and
Dang.
thick paper.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But
Map
is
of
the
world.
story good?
And that I don't know yet. We'll find out. And he's got like
I'm looking it up right now.
cards of, I'm assuming,
Wow.
characters or like gods in the world or something. It's super cool, and it's definitely gonna make me read it because it's really well done. So
Yeah, geez.
That's very cool. Yeah, I just marked it as want to read. Like it, like, you know.
That's
It's
amazing. And I love when they're printed right on the book.
right on the hardcover, yeah.
Yeah,
Like the book it's got like the bookmark in it and stuff, like the little like ribbon bookmark, and
Wow.
yeah, it's really, there's like really good artwork in it too. It's not gonna show up well, but
Oh
like,
my gosh, I
don't know,
can't imagine
it's
how
sweet.
much this was. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's like a super high quality
Sam, hush.
book, and
Sam. Sorry.
Thought you were telling Alex to hush.
right.
We've heard enough about this pretty book, Alex. Stop flaunting it.
Who are you talking to in that tone? Bye, Alan.
Gotten like quite a few pretty nice books, but I think the coolest one is the one that I don't have yet.
Yeah.
And it's the Curious King edition of The Blade itself.
Of course it is.
Ooh.
I mean, it's pretty. It has like full color illustrations of Pharaoh and Logan on the dust jacket. It has a slipcase, and it looks pretty sweet. So I'm excited for that.
My
Although
other
it's
would be,
I don't know if beautiful is quite the word to describe that book, because it's like Pharaoh and Logan being like, like on the cover with like blood everywhere.
well, at
So
least
like,
they're not.
Oh
doing
yeah,
the other thing.
I've seen this art. It's so terrifying.
yeah, but it's like a really cool edition. I just
Yeah, it's
beautiful
very,
is
like,
not quite the word.
Fitting.
Yeah. My other answer would have been the Illumicrate Jade.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Greenbone.
Greenbone.
Yeah.
I just want to call it like the Jade City Saga. But yeah,
Jade
because somebody
books.
actually sent me, because they actually got 2 copies of it for some reason. Illumicrate sent them an extra set, and then they sent
That's
it to me.
lucky.
Yeah, so I was
Dang,
like, yeah, I'll take those
that's
because those are
awesome.
beautiful.
Don't mind if I do. Yeah, those are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Especially because like the regular editions of those books are so kind of boring.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So it's like the only way to get like a kind of cool looking edition is the
Mhm.
Illumicrate one.
For sure.
I bet they'll have a bunch of editions coming out, especially with the show coming.
I did
You get a
order.
bunch that have the now
faces of
an
the
HBO
actors.
show on it.
I gotta get them before they get the sticker.
But I did order the Subterranean Press, the Jade Setter of Jan Loon, which is like a novella, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
the only
have
way
it
you can
yet.
get it too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. That's gonna make it hard to read, isn't it?
Well, I think you'll be able to get an ebook of it.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't think you won't be able to read it at all. Anyway, last question is, what book or books do you need to read by the end of the year?
I need to finish the Shadow of the App series. I stopped at book 4, and I need to finish it because I want to, and I keep reading things that I don't want to read as much. I need to finish the Raven's Mark series, which I will. I'll finish that in 2 months. I guess I need to finish Books of the North.
Under the Northern Sky.
There you go. Under the Northern Sky. So I'll probably read that if I'm going to be reading Cuckoos also. And I said something else. There was one other thing that I really needed to get through. Bloody heck. I don't know. That's good enough for government work. What else I need to friggin' finish? Oh, Dagger and Coin, I guess, but I finished that. So yeah. So I'm good. As long as I finish Shadow of the Apt.
You need to read Six of Crows.
Oh, that's on there too. Yeah, after Six.
Yeah.
Also, Barf. Oh, I didn't add that into what I'm reading next month. Yes, I'm going to remove a good book and read that instead.
False.
Man, I just want to get through the sequels I have so I can finish out some series. That's all. I just want to finish out the Burnt Empire saga by Ashok K. Banker with Blind King's Wrath, which is actually only like 400 pages. The first book in that series was like 800 pages long. And the last book is 400.
Nice.
Crazy. You usually see them like increase in size.
Finish Shattered Sands.
No. I will not be continuing. I feel bad because I really wanted to like that series. Whatever. Lachlan's, I need to finish. I'm reading that right now. I need to finish the Revelations, the Rarea Revelations, and the Cuckoo. And I'm sure some others that I'm missing, but I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself.
I guess for me, because I'm in the middle of a lot of long stuff right now. I mean, I'll probably finish Gentleman Bastards, because that's, who knows when it'll actually finish itself. I'm probably going to finish, what did I just look at? Oh, I want to finish 5 Warrior Angels when book 3 comes out, The Lonesome Crown, which is November. I don't remember the release date, but it's later this year. What else do I want to finish? It's probably, because I'm not going to finish First Law because I have a lot to go. I'm not going to finish.
Well,
Dark
not with
Tower,
that attitude.
maybe. I might finish Dark Tower, actually. Got what, 5 books left? I'll probably finish Dark Tower. That'll be my main objective. And I need to get back to live ship because I stopped after the first one. So I still need to get through that, but we'll see. So yeah, Dark Tower, Gentleman Bastards, and 5 Warrior Angels will be my 3 series that I need to finish.
Greenbone.
I haven't started.
No, that's my answer.
Oh, I thought you were adding to my list.
No, that's my answer.
That's it. Just what, 2 more books? Or did you?
Yeah,
or just one?
I'm like a third of the way through Jade War. I need to actually finish it and read Jade Legacy.
Yeah. Well, how many books do you think you'll read by the end of the year?
Well, my goal for the year was 50, and I'm at 90 something. So
Safely
I don't
ahead of
know.
schedule. I'm like 7
I
books
think you've
behind
hit your
my schedule.
goal.
Yeah, my goal was 60, and I'm at like 20. I'm slacking.
You need to read more First Law.
Yeah, I'm 7 books behind schedule. Thanks, Goodreads.
Yeah, Goodreads is shady like that. They like to
Let you know. They like to let you know how far behind you are.
Mm-hmm.
Just like YouTube likes to be like, hey, the people
This
watching
video's
hate
not
this
doing
video.
well.
Yeah, exactly. Your viewers hate you.
Yeah.
Idiot.
This is the worst performing thing that you've ever posted.
Exactly. Fewer of your viewers are choosing to watch this video. So aggressive.
Well, I'm gonna choose to eat my feelings. Thank you, YouTube. Well, yeah, that's it. We did it, and in less time than I actually thought. We got through that. I'm proud of us.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Go to bed, Jesse. We all need to go. I think we've done it all. We've answered all the questions. There's nothing further to be said.
Go watch our ads.
Go watch our ads. Go buy their merch, because you love this so much. You're like, I must commemorate the viewing of this amazing video. T-shirt.
Yeah. All proceeds go towards charity and towards sticking it to me and my bad opinions. Every dollar this video makes is 1 ball that gets thrown at the dunk tank.
So what we need is a new line of shirts that is silhouettes of Leanna being scolded by Alan for her opinions.
Just need
Do
a
we
line
need
of
that?
shirts. Just says Alan's wrong.
We need hats, T-shirts.
We just need a
belts.
Team Leanna and a Team Alan shirt. Those are easy to make.
There you go.
Wait, then can we wear each other's T-shirts next time? I'll be Team Alan. You could be Team Leanna.
I would wear my shirt.
Of course you would.
I would wear my shirt. My students probably wear your shirt though.
Do they know who I am?
I mean, if they watch my channel, they do.
I guess that's true. Well, if they ever do wear a Team Leanna T-shirt, you must let me know.
I'll
And
fit.
on that note, thanks for joining us on the mid-year freak
Thanks,
out
man.
tag.
Leanna and I actually like each other. We don't actually hate each other. You don't.
No
have
one's
to,
watching anymore. You're not convincing
Well,
anyone.
But
if you are
I
here-
do look forward to your public apology
What? I apologize for what?
for how you mistreat me.
I mean, yeah, I mistreat you. You're
You're worse than YouTube.
It'll be in the same vein as your apology
You're worse
for
than
just like
hating Samwise.
Sam.
I'm dragging you down from your ivory tower to join the rest of us plebs, Leanna. You've sat up
My
there too
ivory
long,
tower.
resting on your laurels.
What laurels?
Your
What's
laurels of like,
I feel like the main problem is that Alan doesn't
harsh
actually know
on
who I
books.
am. I don't think you know who I am.
I'm harsh on books. I'm Leanna. I only read First Law, but nothing else popular.
It's pretty accurate.
I'm taking that mantle from you, tearing it down.
By reading First Law and being now the person that reads it more than I do.
I'm gonna read First Law and give it 1 star every book.
But no one will believe that that's true, Alan, and you will lose. You will lose your credibility.
What credibility? I lost my credibility when I read Emperor's Blades.
You'll regain it when you give.
When I allowed the
5
masses to
stars.
choose Emperor's Blades.
How dare you?
I know. How dare I? I try to be a benevolent, democratically
ruler.
elected leader. No, tyrants, tyranny.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go to bed.
I was gonna say, on that note,
Oh yeah, we're still filming.
we're still
Oh,
going.
I thought we went off the air.
Bye everyone.
Bye.